Good morning. Morning, everybody. We are live and online for this morning's edition of Coffee Chat. How is everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. We'll let you all catch up with the fact that we are live and online. And caffeinating. Hi, Jane. Good morning, everyone. It is... Hello, Tracy. What is today? Is it the last Saturday in... It is. It's the last Saturday in June, you guys. Sherry, hi. Hi, everybody. Good morning. We'll let everybody catch up with the fact that we are here. We are live. We are online. Good morning, Rebecca, Christina. Hello. Hello, 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 everybody. How are you this morning? Good morning. Last Saturday in June. Hi, Victoria. It's crazy, right? That means half the year is over, you guys, on June 30th. That's the end of second quarter. How crazy is that? Janet, hi. Christina, hi. Emily, hi. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I already started. Good morning, Angela. I already started the podcast audio. Last week I was traveling, so we had no podcast. Hi, Lisa from South Africa. That's awesome. Good morning, Bree. Hello, everyone. We are back with Coffee Chat. So, couple of housekeeping items. You may have noticed that we are now the Working Single Mom Presents Revealing Leaders, and we have changed on Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter to Revealing Leaders. The Facebook page will remain the same, called The Working Single Mom. You will see the Revealing Leaders logo there as well. It is still me. It is still my team. It is still pretty much the same content. We are widening our conversation. And good morning, Janet, Arlen. Hello, everybody. Good morning, Elizabeth. We're widening our conversation because it's time to do that, I think. I think that it's time that we start calling out the fact that everyone's a leader, and I want to do more forward conversations about helping you guys get into the future that you want. Although I was a working single mom for many, many years, I got remarried in 2019 for the first time in 18 years. My son turned 20. And I just feel like it's time for me to widen my conversation so that it stays authentic. It's really important to me to remain authentic. So we've had a few questions like, oh my God, is it going to be different? And, you know, why are you doing this? And so that's why I'm doing it, because I feel compelled to do it. I feel like I need to be enlightening you guys that you're leaders and talking about the qualities of being a leader in your own life, and just more forward conversations, more conversations to help you get into the life that you want, and more conversations to help you walk forward into the kind of future that you envision for yourself. So not really different content per se. So I don't want you to freak out and think like it's all going to change. It's not all going to change. It's going to get better. That's what's going to happen. So if you've been following us on Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest, you will see that we are now Revealing Leaders, and we are still the same. And on Facebook, we will remain the Working Single Mom, and you will see the Working Single Mom Presents Revealing Leaders as a brand. So anyway, that's just a short little, and we'll also be changing the website. The website will become Revealing Leaders. However, if you're used to typing in theworkingsinglemom.com, you will get led over to the new site, so no worries there. It'll be pretty seamless on your side. Okay, so that's my housekeeping item. Let's talk about circumstances, and let's talk about how sometimes you are in the middle of your life and you are in the middle of circumstances that you find unfavorable, and you say to yourself, I am, these circumstances are not what I wanted. You might think that you're losing time because you're dealing with things that you didn't want to deal with. You might feel like things are not moving ahead. Hi, Jasmine. Jasmine's wearing one of our shirts this morning. Yay. So you're sitting in the middle of your life. You have circumstances. You're feeling kind of maybe pissy and aggravated about said circumstances, right? What I want to point out is that in every moment you have the perfect set of circumstances that you need to grow today, right now. Nothing in your life is by accident. So when you are in the middle of circumstances and situations in your life that you would normally deem unfavorable, I'd like you to start thinking about them as a growth opportunity. I'd like you to start seeing that, first of all, you have the power and ability to create the future that you want. And as I get older, I have recognized this more and more. In fact, I was cleaning out an old file cabinet 3 days ago, and I found a note, an email that I had written to someone where I was telling a story about Antonio when he was little, and I said, someday I'm going to write a book about, I'm going to write a book that is for working single moms. And this was long before, this was like right when Antonio was born, was long before the working single mom was an idea in my head, and it was long before I authored books under that moniker. So you really do create the life that you want. You create it in your thoughts, in your words, and in your writing. Hi, Melissa. Good morning. You have the ability to have the future that you want. Part of the mastery of that ability is being able to sit in circumstances that you would normally find unfavorable and deem them perfect and then use them as a growth opportunity. So I'd like you to start to recognize that you are in the middle, every moment you are in the middle of a growth opportunity. Every moment you're in the middle of the perfect set of circumstances that you need to grow. Mary Louise is from Cape Cod. How cool. Hello. I grew up on Cape Cod. I graduated from Barnstable High School, actually, Mary. So as you keep moving, so as you're sitting in these circumstances that you feel are unfavorable, and as you start to look at them as a growth opportunity and an opportunity to move forward, so I'm just reading something here. Hold on. So Amanda's saying, yes, I think it's the circumstance. It's exhausting. Working so hard all the time. I don't mind hard work, but I'm exhausted going to school and saving money so one day I don't have to, but man, I'm tired. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes it's hard work. Well, always it's hard work. Excuse me for saying sometimes. The truth is, always it's hard work. The truth is, though, Amanda, you'll elevate, right? It will get easier as the kids get older and you get older and you learn more skills, and it will get better. It will get easier. As you start to learn mastery over yourself and over circumstances and over your own life, things will improve. They will get better. So you're in the middle of these circumstances that you don't find so favorable. I want you to, instead of complaining and bitching and criticizing the circumstances, I want you to start thinking about it as an opportunity to grow. I want you to start saying to yourself, okay, I have whatever's going on right now in my life. It's the perfect opportunity for me to grow today, for me to do something different, for me to learn a new way to handle this and to move forward. Okay? So as you move forward, improved circumstances will show up. As you become more positive and in forward motion and solution oriented about where you are, you will then, this goes back to all of our conversations about the law of attraction, right? As you elevate your state of mind, as you elevate your internal conversation, your energy elevates, and then things that are attracted to you are at a higher level. So it's progressive. And the most important part first is to direct your thoughts. And to remember that your life is treating you exactly in the manner that you expect it will. I have a big sign in my house over one of the doors as you walk in, and it says you get what you expect. And that is the truth. And that is, again, the law of attraction at work, right? What you expect to happen will happen. What you focus on and direct your thoughts and attention to will manifest itself. These are universal principles. They are not my principles. I did not invent them. They are universal principles. Okay? There's only so much time here on this particular planet, in this particular body, right? Our job is to be the best character that we can be every day, in every moment. And every place that we are is important. Every seeming obstacle that you're going through, every seeming boundary that you cross, every breakthrough that you have, it's all progressive. It's all part of the plan. It's all what it's supposed to be. No time is ever lost. So sometimes we think like, oh shit, all that stupid shit we did when we were younger, like I wasted time, I lost time, I should have been this, I could have been this, it should have been this way. My mother used to say, don't should on yourself. However it was how it was supposed to be for you at that moment. You used whatever happened to educate yourself and to move forward and to go on to the next thing, right? I told you I was cleaning a file cabinet. I found a letter from my mother that she wrote me August 8th, 1986. It was right after I graduated from high school. We no longer lived under the same roof at that time. Long story. There were times where my mother and I did not get along very well. So I found this letter, and I'm going to read it to you. It's very short. And the reason I'm going to read it to you is because she reminds me of what it means to have mastery over your circumstances. And for those of you that know some history about me and my mother, she was more of my teacher than my mommy. My grandparents helped to raise me. My mother was passed away August 26th of last year. And she was the original inspiration for the Working Single Mom because she was a working single mom for all of my life. So she says, Dear Noelle, thanks for your card. Life is problems solved, followed by new problems to solve, on top of problems to solve, surrounded by more problems in a sea of other people's problems. If it can be all right with you that there are problems, you're a candidate for mastery. So let's change the word problem to unfavorable circumstances. So the first step to mastery is it has to be okay with you that everything is not always favorable, right? Katie Smith is asking me, who is Linda? The name keeps coming off of me. Linda is actually my stepmother, Katie. Okay. Yes, so Linda is my stepmother. So that is a name that is associated with me. Good call. So problems, adverse circumstances, things we don't like. It has to be okay with you that they exist. It has to be okay with you that they're present and you don't have to buy into them and act like they're set in concrete. She goes on to say, mastery has to do with doing what needs to be done in each case so that the situation produces a result. When you have more results that are satisfying rather than most results unsatisfying, you have passed the first test for mastery. Your tolerance for no results is the measure of step 2. If you give up in the face of no results, you've failed the second test to mastery. With love, Mom. So, your first test is to allow there to be circumstances, both ones that you love and ones that you don't love, and still be committed to your intention in the matter no matter what it looks like. And we've talked about this a lot, right, over the last several years. If you are a progressive watcher of Coffee Chat, we have talked a lot about how you must judge the situation by your intention in the matter and not by what it looks like in the moment. And this is what my mom was calling out in that second step to mastery, because you have to be willing to sit in the face of no results. We've got some creepers this morning. You have to be able to sit in the face of no results and stand strong no matter what it looks like in the moment, because that's the second test of mastery of circumstances. Okay? So, being able to sit in the middle of unfavorable stuff, seemingly unfavorable circumstances, conditions, people's attitudes, whatever. Being able to sit there in the middle of it. Reminding you ladies that if these creeper guys here that we're blocking every second, if they happen to message you or talk to you, please don't engage them. They're just trolls, and unfortunately they're around. And the more you engage with them and respond to them, the more, excited they get about it, and the more they'll bother you. So please don't accept friend requests from people that you don't know, that say that they came off this page, and do not respond to people that are saying, oh, hi, you're pretty, nice to talk to you, you look nice. Don't just, we've got better things to do. We have more important things to do. So to recap, circumstances that are unfavorable, sit there in the middle of them, understand that they are the perfect circumstances that you can use to grow in this moment, in the next moment, in the next moment. Secondly, remember that we never judge anything by the way that it looks. So, for instance, something presents itself to you. It's not what you want. You start doing that inner mental work to shift it. You're working on it. It looks like nothing's happening. You're praying, you're doing affirmations, you're directing your thoughts, you're doing everything that you need to do. Looks like it's not moving. If you stop then, if you give up then, you fail the second test for mastery. It will look the hardest before it turns. And that's the biggest test, is to stick with your intention in the matter, stick with what you want to have happen, and keep speaking to that, even in the face of the chaos that surrounds you. This is a really high and powerful tool, and it's hard to do, especially in the face of, let's use finances as an example. You do your bills for the month, you realize that you've got, let's say, a $10 balance in your checking account, because I've been there, done that. And you want to start to panic because you've got kids to feed and bills to pay and all this normal stuff, right? So you're doing your bills, you see what the balance is going to be. Let's say your next paycheck doesn't come for 2 weeks. Everything in you wants to start freaking out, right? Panicking, getting upset, getting depressed, all this. If you can, in that moment, just start to know that there'll be a solution, that money will find its way to you, whatever your affirmations are, I suggest, and again, Coffee Chat is progressive, so lots of times I will reference things that we have talked about before. The index card exercise is an excellent way to train your mind. Just briefly, 10 index cards. On each index card, you write an affirmation that you're working with or that you want to start working with. You keep those index cards in your purse like flashcards in an elastic. Every time you feel that panic coming on, like when there's an adverse circumstances that you don't like, grab those index cards and just remember when you were a kid and you did flashcards, rote learning, just to drill something into your head. 2 times 2 is 4, 5 times 5 is 25, 6 times 6 is 36, like that, right? That's what the affirmation cards are for. That's what the index card exercise is for, right? Money finds its way to me. Money finds its way to me. Money finds its way to me. Money, like that. That's what has to happen, because your monkey mind is mechanical, and it will immediately take a hold of whatever it sees or smells that's unfavorable, and it will say, oh my God, you only have $10. Oh my God, you only have $10. Oh my God, you only have 10. Okay? You need to smash that and go the other way. The only way to do that is with practice. It is not easy. It is challenging, especially when you've been trained for however many years you've been trained to panic, to think, the other way, whatever. Okay, so fear of poverty and fear of not having enough and fear of change and all of the things that really get you, the ones that like choke you out, that's where to start your work. Okay, that's where to start your work. Just dig in and start training your mind to go the other way. So, along those lines, we don't judge anything by the way that it looks in the moment. So back to the checkbook example. If you are really actively working with the stuff that I'm talking about on a weekly basis, you would look at that balance. You would acknowledge that, okay, this is the way it appears to be right now. And I know that anything can change in any moment. I know that money can come to me from anywhere and everywhere. I know that solutions are possible, and you would start a different rhetoric with yourself. Meanwhile, that may not give in 10 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour or 24 hours. So that second level of mastery is sticking with your intention in the matter when you're not yet seeing the result, and staying right there with your intention even when the result appears to be not present. The second level of mastery is that sticking in your mind to what you want to see happen, speaking about that as if it's already the case, and walking forward into the future like that is the case, okay? And that is easier said than done. I get it. This is also like stepping out when there doesn't seem to be anything underneath you, and trusting that God, the universe, whatever your thing is, that it's got you. Any change that you want to make, be it the way that you think, be it a job, be it a way of life, even with the shift to revealing leaders, the morning after I did it, I had a small, however, I knew it was time to make a shift because I was just getting tired of doing it the way we were doing it. And that was why, honestly, I took a break from Coffee Chat for 3 weeks, because I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And that's not like me. And I knew that it was time to just make a change. After every big declaration of change, it's like buyer's remorse. You will panic. You will. I'm going to be 53. I've been practicing principles for 40-something years, 43 years. I still, have that. We're in the middle of expanding Fortunato Partners, and we're expanding this whole Revealing Leaders thing, and we're taking on some more staff, and I'm making declarations about, what's going to happen. I'm going to start doing leadership training, by the way. I'm thinking about possibly doing a leadership intensive and maybe taking 12 to 20 of you for a 6-month period to work with me directly. So if anyone's interested in that, I'm still kind of thinking through how that would work, but I'm thinking that that's going to be part of the new things that we do. So it would be a leadership intensive where I am probably myself and Tracy, where we would work with you for a 6-month period, probably several times a month on a Zoom, on phone calls, and it would, to move you from where you are to where you want to be. Obviously, there'll be a charge for it. I don't yet know what that is, and so I'm very much still formulating all of this. So if you are interested in talking about doing a leadership intensive with me, a 6-month leadership intensive with me, so you would get my personal attention with a small group of other people consistently over 6 months, you can email me, and the email address is in the About section of the Facebook page, or you can still go to the workingsinglemom.com and you can find all of our contact information there. So again, I was talking about, changing and jumping out when the ground doesn't appear to be underneath you. So in this shift that I've decided to do, where we are now the Working Single Mom presenting Revealing Leaders, and in all of our other social channels we're saying Revealing Leaders, I had moments of panic, like, oh my God, what does this mean, and like that. And so for me, as I said, I knew it was time for a change and time for a shift, because my excitement about talking to you guys every Saturday morning and about writing things, and it was waning, and I realized the Working Single Mom, it will always be part of who I am as a persona. That name was me. I created that name because it was me, and it was my public persona, and then I built the page and I built everything. And although that will always remain a part of me, my son is now 20, and I got married again at the end of 2019 after almost 20 years. And so authentically, who I am in my life always has been, coaching people and moving people forward. And who I am now is really strongly wanting to have forward conversations and wanting to really help you reveal the leader in yourself and push yourself forward from where you are right now to where you want to go. And I really want to drill down with people and talk about that, because I've walked it, I've done it, I've created it, and it's time for me to teach it and share it and really just be out there with that message. So leaders are not just in business, you are the leader of your own life, whether you have a kid, don't have a kid, if you have a partner, don't have a partner, have a business, don't have a business, you are the leader of your own life. And not everyone acts like that. A lot of people act like they're just a rider in their life instead of the driver. You're the driver, you're the leader, you're the one in front. And people are not recognizing that about themselves. And I look around in the world, and the world is a place right now where you guys, you're leaders, and it's time for you to step out there and start leading your life from where it is to where you want it to go. And that's what this new body of work is pushing that. So again, we got to the leadership intensive thing because I'm talking about making a change and stepping out where you don't know what the hell is underneath you. And that's what I've done in just my declaration, that now I'm Revealing Leaders, and it's trademarked, and we bought the domain and the whole bit. And my son is like, okay, so what are you offering under that? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm still figuring it out. So I'm still working with it. I do feel like a leadership intensive twice a year is something that I need to do. So, and I'm still figuring out what that will look like. And it won't be like recorded. Some people are doing like workshops and stuff that it's like recorded content, and it won't be that. It'll actually be me live twice a month with you. And you'll have access to me and my team, and we'll really get some good work done. Okay, so that's that about that. But my point in all that was stepping out, right? And I've also, I'm in a place where I've asked Tracy, who you'll see on here, and sometimes she shows up on here as Tracy McMenamin, and sometimes she shows up as the Working Single Mom as the page. And she and I have been friends for over 30 years. And I have asked her to come and work with us as part of the team. In other words, to leave the job that she has and to come and work with us, which is a big deal for me because obviously now I've promised to cover another salary and all this, you know, so it's, you know, I'm like, it's like, so I'm a little, you know, I'm a little scared about like the whole new thing and what I'm taking on. And I just know that it's, you know, obviously we have to grow and change and move. And there are times in your life where you're going to have to step out and it looks like there's no net. And as my mom said, the second level of mastery is to be able to sit there, judge by your intention, and keep pushing through even when it doesn't look like the result is showing up. So even though it doesn't look like, you know, all the money that we require to make all this work is flooding in right this second, I trust that it will. I trust that because we're out there doing the right thing. And I still have a job, you know that, right? I do business consulting and all of that. So that's not going away. I'll still keep doing that. I've also stepped into the position of CEO of Delta Hire, which is a recruiting and workforce and training development company. And what Revealing Leaders will do is that's my body of work. And I will be working on teaching leadership and developing and cultivating leaders and coaching on mastery. Leadership mastery in your own life and really moving you from where you are to where you want to be. So don't be afraid to step out when you don't know how. You don't have to know all the hows, right? Trust that if your wish for change and your move to step out is authentic and for the right reason, and it really resonates in your being, trust that God and the universe, whatever the right label for you is, for me and Tracy, it happens to be God. It's not God for everybody. For some people, it's Buddha or universal principle or whatever the case may be. Trust that it has you. Trust that you can put your foot out and it will come up underneath you. And I promise you, how I know is I've been doing it for 40-something years. I'll be 53 this summer. I have been practicing since I was 12. I have lived it many times over. I have been broke. I have been bankrupt. I have had nothing. I have not known the answer. And I have achieved mastery because I know how to direct my thoughts. And that's what I want to teach you guys. I want to teach you that you have everything to do with the way that it turns out. And I want to teach you what I know so that you can do it too. Because you are the leader of your own life. And by your example, you will inspire other people, so much so that you don't even know who they are and you might never know. Just know that your leadership by example will inspire others. All right, so I'm going to leave you now. I hope you have an amazing week. So just remember that your circumstances, whatever they are right now, they're the perfect circumstances for you to grow in this moment. Remember also that you have everything to do with how it turns out for you. Okay? And remember that your life is treating you in exactly the manner that you expect. So start expecting the best, you guys, and start judging what you want to have happen by your intention in the matter instead of what it looks like. Because it's going to look all kinds of ways. What matters for you to master it is that you hold true to what you want to see happen. So stay there. Stay there this week. All right? Okay. Don't forget, you can visit us still at theworkingsinglemom.com. I'm in the middle of building the new site with Drew and Kim, and it'll be done soon, and then it will just be an easy transition, so you'll still type in the old thing and it will bring you to the new thing, or you can type in the new thing, whatever the case may be. If you are interested in further learning about, as I figure it out, this leadership mastery, leadership intensive thing with me for 6 months, let me know. And and we'll continue to fine tune what the hell that even means. And you guys have a great week. We'll say goodbye to our podcast folks. Goodbye. And Facebook fam, I love you guys, and we'll talk next week. And remember, you are the leader in your life. You are the master of your circumstances. You get to call the shots, no matter what anybody else says. Don't forget that. And I recommend using the index card exercise. It's really valuable. All right, have a great week.